an opening statement and then go ahead into questions. Jim, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, again, it's becoming a reoccurring theme, but thank you to the fans for, again, making this a really, really difficult place for teams to come and play. I think the energy in the building now is at an all-time high. I think they might expect us to score 5 and 6 goals every time we step on the field, which I guess is a good thing, but can't say enough how important it is to have an environment like Subaru Park to play in. Our guys are really confident here. You guys can see that. We don't take our foot off the gas. We just keep going, which is something that I'm very proud of. You know, when the initial lineup sheet came in, you know, we were caught off guard, no question about it. You know, we had prepared for them to play in a back four, and Estevez, who's had a really good year on that left side, you know, was really dangerous. So that was kind of our whole game plan. And then I guess I'm being just pretty open right now and say we completely missed the preparation for exactly what they were going to play. So sometimes the plan changes, and we talked to them literally in the pregame talk before we stepped out on the field. Regardless of whether they play in a back three, a back five, whether they rested guys, rotated guys, we have to play our way with our principles. They don't change. Let's play the same exact way, regardless of the back four, back three, regardless of the personnel on the field. So our guys took that to heart. I think they executed and overall started the game the right way. And once we get one in this building, it seems to be kind of a snowball effect.
Jim, you guys have 4, 6, or more goal wins in the last 8 weeks, and no other MLS franchise has ever done that over the length of their entire existence.
All right.
At some point, does this start to be surprising, or does it cease to be surprising? How do you kind of? I know you know how rare these games are.
Yeah, they don't happen much. I think I only played in a very, very small amount. I had one on the 4th of July in Kansas City. I think that was a 7-0 maybe, or an 8-0. Sorry, Bo Ashani, for that memory, but that happened on a 4th of July. But yeah, to have it happen multiple times now, it speaks to this team. Again, I'm just the coach, but players are the ones that win games. Players are the ones that execute on the field. We have a deep squad. Ernst has given me a lot of great resources and great players. We have now a support staff and Ryan Richter, who's done an incredible job for us. Frank Leicht has been excellent, working with the guys on the offensive side, the transitions, the restarts, every little detail. And Phil Wedden is one of the best coaches that this league has. You know, the work that he does, not just with Andre, but with our whole first team is incredible. Sports performance scouting, you could go down the road. This is a real team. And again, you guys get to see, you know, the fun part, which is the Saturday or Sunday night when we get to go out on the field and perform. But a lot of work goes on behind the scenes in the weight room, in the medical room, where they keep these guys healthy, they keep them fresh, they keep them fit, and it's a real team effort, and so many names to thank. But we're a group that's not going to be satisfied. So again, you're right. The high scoring, it's unique, no question about it. I'd have to say, I can remember some of the best offensive teams in the league, and they don't put up this many goals this many times, and most importantly, do it while keeping a clean sheet. I think that speaks to the discipline, the hunger, the desire of this group. We started with a good defensive foundation at the beginning of the year. The goals weren't coming, and now the goals are really coming in bunches. I want to save some, to be honest, for the playoffs, but I'm really proud of the team.
To that point, does the early season form, do you try to almost keep it in mind as a reminder to the guys? It might not be this easy every night, and you got through it, you know?
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be this easy every night. But again, I still go back to the schedule. If you guys remember me talking about April and May, how hard our schedule was. We played the top teams in the league in pretty quick succession on the road, a lot of fights and scraps and eking out a point when maybe we could have lost, and maybe some games we probably could have won that were ties also. But I think we stuck to the plan of the foundation of this club, the foundation of this team is defense first, and everybody working as a team and being cohesive doing it. And any group of 11 individuals on the field can beat any superstar. Again, you guys are going to tee it up for who we play next, but or in the future. But that's what we believe. But it starts with team defending, and that is the thing that I'm most proud of. The goals against is incredible this year. The amount of shutouts, the leadership of the group to really buy into not conceding, even in these routes, because it's real easy to start taking plays off when you're up 3 and 4-0. But the sign of the best teams are the ones that do it for the entirety of the 90 minutes, and our players deserve all the credit for that.
So you mentioned at the start had to change the game plan or at least a surprise. Thinking a few years back, maybe not something that your teams were always able to do for various reasons, where you come in for something different, unprepared. Just thinking about how the team has grown over the years, what does it say about your guys that you're able to go in an hour beforehand and say we got to do a different thing?
Yeah, they're adaptable now. I think that we still are going to have the same kind of principles that if there's a ball that's played backwards, we're going to squeeze space. If there's a ball that's played straight, that's a cue for everybody to press and run. We have certain cues on the field that that trigger us going. But now when the formation changes and the personnel was totally different than what we anticipated, can they stay calm first and foremost? That's the biggest thing. Stay calm. Believe in our principles. Believe in the way we play. Yes, it's a tweak here or there, and there's 5-10 yards on the field that the other team set up in. But if we play our way, we're going to make them uncomfortable. And it starts with pressure to the ball. That's our most important thing. The best back lines in the world cannot defend when there's no pressure to the ball. The old AC Milans with Maldini and Baresi that couldn't defend if there wasn't pressure to the ball. So that's our number one thing. And then you see that from our strikers. And it starts with them. It starts with Daniel Gazdag, who's been incredible, not just the goals, the work rate defensively. So everybody has bought in. It helps now when you have these types of games, because now I can go to the strikers and say, see, when you run and fight, you get easier goals. You get the tap in. So really proud of them for the work that they put in. But yes, I would say the team is much more adaptable, and again doesn't, I think, get nervous when the slightest details are a little bit wrong, in our preparation. And I'll put my hand up and say we got it wrong. We didn't expect the way that they played, but also we wanted to capitalize on the fact that they didn't have some of their better top guys on the field, and I think we did that. Sometimes these games are dangerous. You see the lineup and you go, oh, Rubio's not out there. Estevez, who's been really good for them, isn't out there. Let's calm down even 10%, and then you lose. So overall, really proud of the group, and a big result for us.
You guys have had 7 different goal scorers in your last 5 games now. Can you just talk about the contributions you're getting from just the whole team?
Yeah, a lot of goals being scored. Corey Burke's on a tear right now, putting the ball in the back of the net in limited minutes, which is really, really good to see. I'm really proud for him. Happiest for Matt Real, because that's a kid that is again, an example of this team. Whether you're number 1 on the roster or you're 25 or whatever it might be, all of our guys, some of them that didn't even play tonight, are contributing in a big way. And Matt Real has worked his ass off every day in training and is a starting left back for 15 to 20 other teams in this league, right? And you guys have seen the left backs in this league, right? He's a starter, but he's kept his mouth shut. He's put his head down. He's worked his ass off, and I believe it's not a coincidence that he scores tonight. That is well deserved for Matt. So I think that speaks to this team, the guys that maybe you guys don't see on Saturdays and Sundays all the time are in practice every day pushing the starters really, really hard. And if they take their foot off the gas a little bit, we're comfortable to go to them, as you guys have seen. So it's really a good group right now, but I think that's a good example of the depth, the hunger of everybody to be part of it, to feel part of it. And right now we have a good thing going.
Jacob tonight, the box scores right, 69 of 72 passes. You were a center back. You ever seen that before?
Well, I could have played tonight. Up a man, I could have played. When the game slows down like that, I could still step out there and connect. But no, Jacob, I told you guys, Jacob, it was great that he finally got recognized as an all-star. And I've had discussions with these guys. They have to, certain positions, center back being one of them, you almost have to have 3 good years before anybody goes, that guy's doing something well out there. I actually got rewarded. It took me, I got recognized for the All-Star game in one of my worst seasons. You know what I mean? So it took the 3 good ones, and I got in 2004, which was my worst season as a pro. I started in the game, and I'm going kind of, it takes time for people to notice. And Jacob has been incredible for us. Incredible defender. Again, I talk to these guys about the end of the year rewards and being best 11, and they deserve it. And I'm going to continue to talk about it, and I think it motivates them. I think that that's why we don't stop after 2 or 3. We're not satisfied. So I think people are taking note. I told you guys already. I went through the list. There's so many guys here that should be best 11. There's so many guys here that are in Defender of the Year contention, and I'm really proud of that. And I think that we've got to keep going. And again, Daniel Gazdag steps in and should be in the MVP conversation again, just like I talked to you guys about Dre. So when I have the microphone, I'm gonna keep saying it.
Jose, I think 9 passes in Colorado's final third. To have a 6th that can put it there.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about this for years, I realize, but another example of how that position specifically makes the whole system go.
Yeah, and being able to do the work of 2 is incredible, because at the base of the diamond, it's lonely out there. He has to cover a lot of ground sideline to sideline. Very few people can do it. We happen to have 2 guys that can do it in Jose and Leon, which is a good thing. We joked about, imagine if you did play and you wanted to play defensive on the road. We've never done it for some reason, but if you put Leon next to Jose in there in a 2, I mean, and you wanted to make a game ugly, I mean, that would be an incredible thing to go to. We haven't had the need or luxury to really do that, but it would be interesting to see. So we're lucky to have Jose, incredible player. Is a good example of a Philadelphia type player, fits our system, but to be able to play the base of the diamond by yourself is so hard. Very, very few, if you go back through the history of this league, have been able to do it. You can go back to maybe the old, I'm talking too much in the past, but the old Salt Lake teams could do it when it was Beckerman at the base and you had Javi Morales at the 10, but it's a hard thing to do by yourself.
How do you bring a team back to earth after a game like this? And, maybe you guys show up, joking around, whatever, to practice, but how do you sort of turn them around so we have a game, a short turnaround?
Yeah, it's a dangerous team too. Atlanta has talent all over the field. They've been really unlucky, I think, in recent games to not get results. They'll come in here needing points. Any team that's in and around that red line is playing with real high intensity and desperation, which is dangerous when we sit, where we sit in the table. So as the head coach, you're always guarding against the letdown. That's my job. I don't want to see it. I think we've had maybe 1 this whole season, which is pretty good, but that one still bothers me in Cincinnati. So we want to guard against that. And I think this group will recover quickly. Obviously have 2 big games in Atlanta and then away against Red Bull, which is a handful. But at the same time, now this group is ready. I think all fit, healthy, and playing well together.
Daniel ties CJ Sapong's single season record. I don't know if the number is all that important, but how important is it to have a guy like that emerge as the elite scorer that he's been this year?
Yeah, look, I'm proud of Daniel for everything. He came in here last year and had a million games, I think 50 games under his belt, in the calendar year, which is absurd. Came into a new team, adapted to a new culture. You saw him hit the season in stride this year. You see the quality that he has. He has a way of making deep runs where it's almost like he's invisible and defenders don't see him, because the amount of times he runs from deep and goes in, and we sit there on the bench and go, does nobody see him? His timing's amazing in that. And I can't tell you guys how unselfish he is as a player. I mean, the running he's doing is incredible. The fact that he gives Julian the penalty, I was actually pissed about, because that shouldn't happen. That's Daniel's penalty kick, and until he misses one at least. But how unselfish he is to give Julian the PK there. Like that speaks to his character. He already got his goals, and I told him he had till the 85th minute. This is a true story. I dead seriously told him he had till the 85th minute if he wanted a hat trick, and then I was taking him out, and he scored, I think, in the 84th. So I'm really happy for him. I wanted to leave him out there, to try to get that 3rd goal for him, because he deserves it. He's such a unselfish person, unselfish player. So happy for him.
Any further questions? All right, thanks, Jim.
Thank you.